Hello, everybody. I'm Todd Jeffries. This is head coach Rodney Vincent, and this is the Coaches Show for Vista Ridge High School Ranger football. We're here at Roosters Men's Grooming Center, just across the street from the 1890 Ranch, near the Tower Car Wash. Roosters Men's Grooming Center is a great place, and we appreciate them having us here every week. Let's get right into it, Coach. Let's talk about our game last week against Dripping Springs High School. It appeared to be two different games, two different halves. Tell us about it.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, Dripping Springs always historically a tough place to play. I thought our players handled the travel really well. It was a great atmosphere for a Friday night over there. First half, I'll tell you defensively, one of the things I talked about a week ago was just up front, their defensive line. And their defensive line kind of gave us some trouble early on in the game. And you know, we got out to a 14-0 lead and did some really nice things. But then it just seemed like, you know, our offense had a little bit of trouble with their front guys, you know, about midway through that half and in the second quarter. They were able to put together a couple drives on us, and in halftime it's 14-14. We talked to our players about, you know, amping it up in that second half and being a little more physical and staying on blocks, because those guys up front were getting off blocks. And in the second half, I was really proud of our guys for responding. They returned the kickoff for a touchdown. Unfortunately, we had a guy that he got tackled and spun around and knocked down another one of our coverage guys, and that's exactly where they ran. So that was tough. But then we came back from that, and our guys scored, you know, 28 points just like that. Did a really good job.
Outstanding.
And I was proud of our offensive line for really working on that front and doing some good things up front. And defensively, you know, shutting them out in the second half was a big deal for our football team. So just in my opinion, a great job of handling adversity over there. Our guys overcoming that first half situation.
What do you tell them whenever there's you know, a setback in the game like that? They run a touchdown back, that sort of thing. What do you tell them to get that out of their head and get focused again?
Oh, the biggest thing I asked them, you know, the biggest thing I want them to do is always play their best, and I challenged them to just keep fighting in this game, and that's what they did.
Absolutely.
When they returned that kickoff, I mean, we just started making plays and started fighting, and the next thing you know, you can see it on tape. Our sideline, our fans, our players, they're just, we kind of turned it around and created our own atmosphere. It was good.
A lot of players stood out last week. Let's talk about some of the players of the week against Dripping Springs.
Players of the week for Dripping Spring. Offensive lineman of the week was split between Brennan Eggers and Harper Gerasi. Offensive back of the week was Isaiah Valaire. Our wide receiver was Cody Williams. Great job from his tight end spot. Did a really good job. Offensive most valuable player was split between Matt Snow, Tyler Harris. It was good to see those guys connecting. A lot of deep passes down the field. Lot of really good work between those two guys. Our defensive backs of the week were Caleb Welch and Tyler Harris. Our defensive lineman was Brandon Slocum. Linebackers of the week was split between Jeremiah Chambers and Bo Jackson. You'll have Bo Jackson coming to talk to you tonight.
Yeah, the Bo Jackson is here tonight.
Yes, he is here tonight. Our defensive MVP was R.J. Phillips. Felt like our four linebackers had a really good game over there. Special Forces most valuable player was Justin Carter. Justin had a really big night on our kickoff unit. Did a really good job. Our Hammer Award for the hardest hit was split between R.J. Phillips and Jeremiah Chambers. Huge pressures on the quarterback in that second half. We finally got to him and had really big hits on that. And then, you know, one of my favorite awards, the Hard Hat Award.
Yeah.
We got some younger players that are working hard throughout the week. Grayson Lewis, Cash Cromas, Cam Handy, Daniel Wright, David Bonham, and Eric Gamaldo were our Hard Hats.
And hard hats, these are the ones that stand out in practice, right? That really test our team in practice, getting them ready.
Yes, sir. And this year, I don't know if you know, a lot of people understand that our players are voting on these guys. Our varsity guys, they vote and they evaluate these guys throughout the week. Who's giving them the most trouble? Who's giving them the best look?
Right.
You know, who's really helping them get ready for the football game? And these guys stood out. We also like to highlight at least one position from the younger group on our JV football team. This week, you know, since we've got Parker Stallings coming in today, I want to highlight some other defensive backs that are in that group. Jonathan Travis on our JV football team was a player of the week for defensive back. Sophomore defensive back was Jason Way. Our defensive back for the freshman red was Nick Wallman, and our freshman black football defensive back was Micah Morrow. Really proud of our defensive backs and in the games that they've had and the work that they've put in.
Now this week is a little different. It's homecoming.
Yes.
There's a lot of excitement. Fans are going to be there. It's going to be a packed house. We take on Georgetown, and they have a pretty good offense. They're pretty strong. Tell us about what you know about them.
Georgetown has a lot of history and tradition. A lot of playoff experience over the last 5 or 6 years at Georgetown. Offensively, got two really good, well actually 3 really good receivers. One of them I know is a Division I type receiver. They graduated a great quarterback last year, but they reloaded at that position. He operates our offense good, and then their tailback is back. So their main weapons on offense, except for quarterback, are back. They're breaking in pretty much a new offensive line, but they are able to put up a lot of points and do it quick, really fast-paced stuff. Our guys got to be ready for fast pace. Probably the biggest challenge with them is they can run between the tackles. They have a really good screen game on the perimeter. They like getting the wide receiver screens out, and then they will stretch the field vertically. So we really are going to have to defend the entire field.
Put our defensive backs or linebackers to a test. Then.
Yes, sir. We're going to have to, with our 7, or our 8 guys that we'll be dropping at any time. They've got to do a really good job in the backfield.
Right. They score a lot. We score a lot. So it's going to be one of those kind of games.
I'm excited about our offensive game plan. Last year, they were pretty senior heavy on defense. So they had to replace some guys on defense. They're a 4-3 defense, which we haven't seen a lot of this year, but we've seen a lot of 4 down, which to some of our formations, it turns into some stuff that we've seen, and our guys have done a good job so far of picking that stuff up this week. It being a homecoming week, we had I do need to mention this. We had a fantastic parade.
Oh, that was great, wasn't it?
Homecoming pep rally last night.
The stadium was full. It was wonderful. People came from all over, and very exciting to see all the kids out there.
Yes, sir.
That helps get the game going, right?
Yes, sir.
It really does.
I kind of wish we could have played last night with all those people there.
I think they heard us. I think Georgetown heard us.
Okay.
They heard us screaming. So, what else we want to talk about here, Coach? Anything we're missing?
Well, we've kind of cleaned up our academic. We like to wait a week or 2 after 6 weeks in case some guys are taking care of some incompletes or finishing up some things that they need to. And I was really proud of this group. We had 23 guys that made all A's in our program. All
awesome.
A's. It's a good start for them.
Yeah.
And then we had 90 guys on the AB honor roll. And for us as a coaching staff, we like to see how many guys were just right there.
Yeah.
And that one's tough because, there's 10 or 15 guys that we could have had more, just 1 point away or 2 points away.
Right.
But 90 guys for on our AB honor roll is a really good start. So we're proud of them for that.
That is awesome. We're all proud of them. Very good. Welcome back. Todd Jeffries here at Roosters Men's Grooming Center, across from 1890 Ranch on 1431. And we are here with number 31. Linebacker Bo Jackson from the Vista Ridge Rangers, number 31 in the program, but he's number 1 in our hearts. Man, let's talk some football. Are you ready for Georgetown?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Let's talk about it. But give me an idea how you get ready for a big game.
Usually just practice really hard during the week, and come Friday, usually Thursday, I'll just be listening to music, getting in my zone, watching film on Georgetown again, getting some last minute notes on what I need to know when I go into the game. And Friday, when it comes around, I'm usually in the mood to play a game. I'm ready to play all day.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to play and then come about 4 o'clock, I shut off everything except for my music, and I just focus on what I need to do to win and perform to the best of my ability.
Start thinking about hitting, that kind of thing.
I like to get big hits.
Yes, you do. We love to see that. Now, talk to us. I mean, when you say preparing for a game, does that mean doing some research, doing some studying, that kind of thing?
Yeah, go on Huddle and just watch some of their film that they have and what they like to do, some of their best parts, what they like to run the most. And they like to run stretch, and they like to run screens too.
Yeah.
And I've been watching that a lot this week already.
Coach Vincent earlier mentioned they got some good receivers, a couple of good running backs.
Oh, yeah.
They like to stretch the field out. You ready for that? That's you're going to get some tackles this week.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I'm trying to get a pick when they run one of those
Yeah, you
little
are.
screen plays to the outside. got a new coverage in. It's going to be pretty fun.
You'll be right there. Okay. All right. Talk to us about, you're one of the upperclassmen. You get the good grades, AB honor roll. You're kind of a big guy on campus. A lot of the younger athletes look up to you. That's a big responsibility, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. We like to hold up our younger classmen, especially. They like to get the hard hats, so they love to practice with us, and they love to give us the best look they can. And we love to motivate them and correct them on what they're doing wrong if we see it, and just help them be a better football player. That's what we like to do.
That's encouraging to hear. That's great. They need you. They need to. They look up to you every day, and we appreciate that. You ready? You ready, Georgetown? Yeah? We're counting on you, man. We're out there in the stands cheering you on, and we do appreciate everything you do and your commitment and dedication. You're one of the good ones out there.
I appreciate all the fans that come out and support us every Friday night. It's nice to look up there and see them all chanting for us when we do something good.
All righty. Welcome back. Todd Jeffries here at Roosters Men's Grooming Center, and joining us is number 88, our safety for the Vista Ridge Rangers, Parker Sterlings. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yeah, talk to us about how you get ready for a big game. We're taking on Georgetown this week. It's homecoming. The stadium's going to be packed. Mm-hmm. How do you get ready?
Well, it all starts at the beginning of the week whenever we do note cards where we identify things that we need to work on at the beginning of from last week's games, and then once we get those in order, we pair up with the person and we sort of keep each other in check, and that's sort of the thing that we look for, because there's certain things, especially in the DB position, that you just need to hone in and focus, like especially read keys and stuff. Week by week they change, and there's certain things and tendencies that teams do that you just got to focus on.
You're sitting back there at the back. You're the safety.
Yes, sir.
Without giving away your secrets. Mm-hmm. What are you looking for? What are you watching?
We're watching for pulls and different reads, like eye control of different players and stuff, and certain tendencies that they do week by week. So like which way the back set and stuff like that.
Very interesting. Now let's talk about how Georgetown. We heard from Bo and Coach Vincent how they have some good receivers, some good running backs. The ball's going to be coming your direction.
Yes, sir.
Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Talked about that. How you're preparing for that, because I bet you like that, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, the good players, you want to be part of that kind of stuff,
sir.
Right?
Yeah, usually we don't get as much action as we could. Vandy week, we had a whole bunch of action. Dripping Springs, there were definitely times that we got a whole bunch of action at the DB position. And this week's going to be interesting because they have both. They have a good passing game as well as a good running game, so it's going to be a good mixture of both to keep us on our toes.
Nice. I didn't get a chance to ask Bo the question, but you're a senior?
Yes, sir.
What are you going to do next year? What's your plan?
Next year, right now, my plan is to go to Texas A&M. I already got accepted.
Nice.
Yes, sir. So there's a couple other schools I'm applying to just to see, if I can get in, and then weigh my options for there. But for right now, it's A&M, and I want to do something in the biomedical field.
All right, one of the smart ones. That's awesome. That is great. Parker Sterlings, number 88. We'll be watching you taking on Georgetown this week. We appreciate you joining us here on the Coaches Show.
Thank you.